Tonight, from Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, Florida, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports. As we'll see Deshawn Watson and the Miami Dolphins versus Teddy Bridgewater and the Baltimore Ravens.
We are about 15 or so miles northwest of world-famous Miami Beach as we are set for football at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. This crowd a few minutes ago stirred into action at the sight of their Dolphins emerging from the Hard Rock Stadium tunnels, and we're ready to go as the Dolphins get set to match up with the Baltimore Ravens. Hi, everyone. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they enter play in this one. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So now the Ravens getting ready for their first go on offense. They'll be led by Teddy Bridgewater in his 8th season now in the NFL.
I've always loved Teddy Bridgewater. A lot of people have underrated him throughout his career. Remember, this is a guy who's battled back from a horrendous knee injury to find his way back as a starter in this league. More than capable right arm, tremendous leader. This guy knows how to make plays in the clutch.
And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that, and here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game, and all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short. A give for Taylor running right side. Fighting him off. And down inside the 15 he goes. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Bridgewater completes it to Fant on the right side. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. From the 4, it's second and a couple. From the gun, Bridgewater. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football. place to fumble down here in the red zone. At least they got it. They'll have another shot. Or no, they won't have another shot. It's going to be fourth down. Maybe they can at least salvage 3.
And they were thinking 6 points because at this position of the field, it's go time, right? You take your shots at the end zone. They weren't able to do that one. So you look over at the sideline. There's the head coach saying, oh, heck, kick it. Field goal time.
Now the Ravens bring out the field goal unit here. The kick by Marr is good. And the Ravens strike first at 3-zip. So the opening drive does yield points. Maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they have 3 first downs and 3 points. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. They'll be led by a 3-time Pro Bowler in his 5th season. It's Deshawn Watson.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
Watson's throw here complete to Kelsey. The numbers for Travis Kelsey last week. 9 catches, 122 yards.
And he was able to get open there, but that's not always easy against this bunch defensively. We are deep enough into the season where numbers count. This is the #1 rated defense in the NFL. He'll have a tough time.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. And Deshaun Watson, and when you think about the toughest quarterbacks in the league to game plan against, he's got to be in your top 5, does he not?
And when you talk about game planning, putting him in the top 5, that's an easy call because he can make every throw. That's not an issue at all. He has great touch delivering the football. But that mobility, that added dimension, when he escapes the pocket and those receivers find their way open, short, medium, and long, he finds the right guy. Last but not least, his toughness. He can stand in the pocket, take a hit, and deliver. That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
To the air yet again, Watson. Well, this is caught by Williams. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. Clock running here, under a minute to go now in the first quarter of a 3-0 game. On 2nd and inches, Watson complete, the tight end Kelsey. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys that have a little extra pep in their step, you go to them early and often.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Back to Montgomery on 2nd down. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Ravens have got it. He's at the 50. The 30, 10, And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. How about that for a momentum swing? You had it goal to go. Not only do you cough it up, but they pick it up and return it all the way for a touchdown.
And now you have to give oxygen to the entire team because what a letdown that was. Terrific drive. Looked like you're going to get points. Instead, the other team registers them on the scoreboard.
Brett Maher on for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Here's Carter now on the return. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. So Miami coming out for their second drive. And they've got to be still reeling from the events of a moment ago. What a turn on that last play.
You're knocking on the door. You're about to take it in. You think you're going to get some points on the board. Instead, you cough it up and watch them take it the rest of the way to the opposite end zone. That's a two-score swing that you just gave up.
On 1st and 10, Watson. It's Williams on the catch. 7 yards, the pickup there. Working with a 2nd and 3. Now Watson. It's Kelsey on the ground. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
A first down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. From the gun, it's a give to Montgomery. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Now he dumps this off over the middle, and he'll go down at the 28.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Here's Watson. This is caught. That's good for a gain of 6. Second and goal.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cut it.
Caught! It's the tight end, Kelsey, for a Miami touchdown. Travis Kelsey, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins able to get this back within a touchdown.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury, and it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run. He finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
Extra point attempt to come here. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. This will be fielded inside the 5. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. And we'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play.
And now a fumble. The ball's out. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused, because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think that you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
Following the fumble recovery, Watson got his man complete over the middle. It's Washington. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Watson, completion here to Claypool. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. So it's 1st and goal, and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Back to throw, Watson. This one swung out to Montgomery. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. They'll leave it for Montgomery, complete. Touchdown, Dolphins! David Montgomery as the first half is winding down. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the 1st quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the 2nd. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Now Joey Slye for the point after. And that makes it 14-10. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. This one fielded at the 5. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive as they take over here with 11 seconds remaining. They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. So the two teams will head to the locker rooms here in Miami with the Dolphins on top. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and CD in a minute. First, it's time to take a look at what we've got coming your way this weekend in the NFL. In the early window on Sunday, one of the best happens up in Pittsburgh. A big one for the Steelers as they get set to do battle with the Detroit Lions. Later in the afternoon, a lot of the country will be watching the game at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, where it'll be the Packers taking on the Seattle Seahawks. And finally, on Monday Night Football, we close out Week 10 with a good one out west. The Rams and 49ers from Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. In the game you're watching is Deshawn Watson, who is the star of the first half. His guys have the lead as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach. Yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. Here's Carter now on the return. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So now the Dolphins set to take over on offense. They were able to defeat Houston last week. They lead things here as well as they try to make it 2 victories in a row. Third quarter starting with a run from Montgomery. Montgomery a first down and then some as he'll get this one up to the 44-yard line. 52 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. On the ground, it's Montgomery. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. Big Calais Campbell fighting through to make the play in the backfield.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time. Forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Here's Watson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Montgomery. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Open man, it's the tight end, Kelsey. And finally out of bounds just inside the 10. It's a big play there for Miami. He had one touchdown earlier, nearly a second one there.
Yeah, it took a touchdown-saving tackle to keep him out of the end zone after a big play. Perhaps you go right back to him. Don't need the distance, but maybe he can pay things off after a big effort.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Now it's Watson. He's got it. Touchdown. Travis Kelce, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Dolphins take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And you know, they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and that makes it a 21-10 game. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the 2nd half. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially. But you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They go to the ground again with Taylor. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Bridgewater. He completes it to Evans. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. To Evans on the slant. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield.
A couple of 1st downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
But they run the option here on 1st and 10. Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. So that play, I mean, it was pretty well blown up from the start, and it results in a turnover.
Yeah, when you're running the option like that as a quarterback, you have so many different keys and reads to make that sometimes as you're making them, you're not protecting the ball the way you should, and it gets popped free.
Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48.
So far this season, this is an offense that's proved its ability to move the football. I mean, they're in the top 5 in the NFL in picking up first downs, and they get the conversion here. And I think a lot of that is due to how they win on first and second down, because that leaves them third and short, third and manageable. A lot easier to pick them up then, isn't it?
They'll try the air now with Watson. Completes it to the tight end, Smythe. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
On first down, Watson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 37. Out of the gun, Watson. That is caught. It's Williams. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 13-yard line.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself, because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on first and second downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. A give to Montgomery out of the gun. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9. Well, no doubt here in the fourth quarter, this is a huge defensive series.
Hey, they can read the scoreboard. They realize if they give up a field goal here, this game might be out of reach. They understand the stakes and are playing accordingly.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. To throw is Watson. To the right side, it's Kelsey. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. A shotgun snap for Watson. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
On now the Miami field goal unit. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And this one is right through. And that will get the lead up to 14. So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the fourth.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist, but time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
Baltimore about ready to go on offense. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it now, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, They've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Leonard Floyd, the old Georgia Bulldog, finding his way into the backfield.
There's a little bit of defense right there. Nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They just snuffed out every route that was going. Quarterback never got rid of the football.
Back quite a ways here, facing 2nd and 19. Another try after the first down sack. Bridgewater. And they'll get him down here at the 23. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater. This will be swung out wide for Taylor. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. Trying to punch it in with Taylor. Escapes the defender. He's still on his feet. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
That's the type of run that Jonathan Taylor gives you so often, and you just can't take it for granted. He finds a way to get those extra yards. The 3rd running back taken in the 2020 draft, but he had the best numbers by far of any of them. 1,169 yards, 3rd most in the NFL, and by the last quarter of the season, he ranked among the best runners in the league.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Bridgewater. And a catch right side by Evans. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Throwing again on 2nd down. Bridgewater escapes the sack. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. Trent Murphy able to record his 5th sack of the season.
I remember throughout my career here, defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Third and long now after the sack, and we'll see if Bridgewater has a response. Back to throw. And that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down. Desperation time, 4th down, Bridgewater. That one sailed a bit, but the catch is still made. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And the ball is free. Taylor lost it. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. The 40. Past the 20. And that might just cement it. A return for a late touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. That's what they've done all game long.
Slide for the PAT. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Bridgewater. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the rookie Nick Bolton. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Dolphins touchdown.
Well, there's just about a minute left in this game, and they're still taking it to the end zone. And you know they could have taken a knee there, but they decided to play this one all the way out. And I think their philosophy is, we're going to give you everything we've got. If we just go ahead and take a knee now, we're actually showing you disrespect that way, like taking pity on you. They're not about to do that to their opponent.
Sly on for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Cleveland Farrell in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Bridgewater, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the offense does cover this one, but back inside their own 5-yard line.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down. To throw is Bridgewater. And that went a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete. The Ravens send their punter out now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense it was much more the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for the Dolphins, it's a win that might keep them alive in the playoff race as they're back to 500 at 5-5. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week, where they take on the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, the turnaround hasn't materialized as they fall to 2-7. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field with the Chicago Bears. So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Dolphins are winners here as we say so long from South Florida.
Today, from Soldier Field in Chicago, it's Week 11 of the NFL on EA Sports. Sam Darnold and the Chicago Bears taking on Teddy Bridgewater and the Baltimore Ravens.
First opened way back in 1924, but renovated in 2002. There's a look inside venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. This was the scene a moment ago as the Bears emerged from their tunnel. Ready for football are they, and ready for football are we as the Bears get set to match up with the Baltimore Ravens. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Bears team entering play. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. Set to return, here's Raheem Mostert. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their 24-year-old quarterback in his fourth season from USC, a former third overall pick, Sam Darnold.
You're talking about the pause that refreshes. I think it's come at a perfect time of the year for them, hasn't it? You know, the season is starting to wind down, got a little bit of a break. But how about the guy calling the signals? He's got to be excited about that because now he didn't just get a game plan for 1 week. He was able to work on it for 2 weeks. I can't wait to see if they have anything special in store for him today. When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, You can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Miles Jack working free that time to take him down. But just 2 plays in, and Charles already their first sack defensively.
Yeah, how about that? That didn't take long, did it? And now they look at 3rd down, and that's another time to try and go and get the quarterback too.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Darnold down to throw. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. The Charles first drive here, little safe completion underneath. Maybe get some rhythm, get your feet wet, so to speak.
I agree, and I like it because it's a lot like a basketball game when you're getting started and you pass the ball around so everyone touches it early and gets involved in the game. In this case, it's not just dumping into a back and he's able to run with the ball, but you get your offensive linemen involved because they get to get out and run and hit people in the open field. Everyone getting their feet wet early.
Off of play action, Darnold. He's going to sling this deep downfield. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon. And the Ravens are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive. So here come the Ravens with their first look on offense. They'll be led by Teddy Bridgewater in his 8th season now in the NFL.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the 1 interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets, and bottom line, how do they get a win?
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Now he's hit. Bridgewater loses the football. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
Sterling Hoffrichter out now on 4th down. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. Now, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
A throw left side to start out. That's complete. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. Working with 2nd and 5 now. Here's Darnold. He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So they give up the completion there. But defensively, Charles, you're going up against a quarterback here who's had some moments, but really a lot of ups and downs in the early part of his career. What's the plan against a guy like this?
Well, you want to rattle him first and foremost. Bring some people at him, a couple extra guys in the pocket, see if he can handle it. The second thing, you want to make him think. Show him one look, go to another, disguise a few things, make him throw into what you call your defensive traps, and try and make some good plays on the ball and get a few takeaways.
Darnold throw complete there to Thomas. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Darnold, he lost the football, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Every week we hear talk about create turnovers. In particular, they wanted to force some fumbles. They got one right there.
And it shows you how the game has changed over time. It used to be good enough for a guy to get a sack of a quarterback in the pocket. Now, if you come to the sidelines and you didn't knock the ball free, your coaches are upset with you, all right? So if you're a quarterback, it starts all the way back in the youth leagues. Take care of the ball, take care of the ball, take care of the ball, because here come the defenders.
1st and 10, Taylor now. And a short gain down to about the 33. The tackle made by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now a handoff. Taylor with it. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. No score after 1 on EA Sports. They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. They'll get this to the rookie from Florida. That's Kadarius Toney. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. They give to Taylor out of the gun. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. On the handoff, this is Taylor. And once again, he's going to be stopped up behind the line. 2nd straight play. Shades of the 85 Bear defense a little bit. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
He's got exactly what you're looking for, the ability to not just diagnose a play and quickly, but to make a play as well. Nice job there tackling him for a loss.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. To throw, Bridgewater. That is caught at the 7. And the Ravens are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
First and goal from the 6. Bridgewater. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Mike Evans, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Brett Maher on for the extra point. And the Ravens lead at 7-0. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Now following the touchdown, Hoff-Richter to kick off. Mostert now to return. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Michael Thomas now heading back onto the field. And CD, assuming he stays healthy, assuming the health, should get to that 1,000-yard mark pretty easily.
And the best part of what he's done so far is allows him and the team to relax their pursuit a little bit. Meaning, if they just have normal games, they'll get to the 1,000-yard mark. They don't have to force anything. But one of the reasons he's having the year he's having is what I call route running arrogance. They think there's no one that can cover them. No matter how many people are put in his direction, it just doesn't matter. He's going to find a way to beat them. And so far this year, he's done exactly that.
He sure has. Back to the air, Darnold on second down. And Cook has it, left side. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
The key to any screenplay is all in the deception, and that means everyone on the offensive side of the ball. But someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on third. Darnold from the gun. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Ravens have got it. Oftentimes you say some guys have a knack for creating turnovers. He forced a fumble last week, forces another one.
And one of my good coaching buddies, Frank Delano, always told me, hey, Davis, creating turnovers is not as much about skill as it is about desire.
Oh, I thought it was going to be will, because will rhyme with skill.
Come on, man.
But desire. We'll go with desire.
What are you, the rhyme master now?
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Bridgewater now after the fumble recovery. He's got his big tight end, Fant. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. They'll go option to the short side, and they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. A loss on that play, and now third down gets tougher, 3rd and 6. Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. On the draw is Taylor. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. Two minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. They'll run for it. It's Taylor, and he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They'll try to throw here now. Bridgewater. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Mike Evans. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Marr on for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's capped off by the Baltimore score. Now following the touchdown, Richter to kick off. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The offense trots back onto the field, and we shine our men's spotlight on Sam Darnold. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. Ball at the 26, 2nd and 7. A shotgun snap for Darnold. Over the middle, complete. It's Edwards. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Here's Darnold. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Darnold trying to hustle everybody along with the clock moving. Darnold completes it. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. Darnold on 3rd down. He'll dump this off to Cook. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing again is Darnold. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Cook. And he gets it down to the 32.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Options galore here, 2nd and a few inches. Meanwhile, Darnold's throw complete into the hands of Schultz here. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Succop's kick is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So they do get the 3 points before they hit halftime. Something to build on, maybe.
Yeah, go ahead and raise the banner, right? Wave the flag. That's good. Got points, and now, as you said, they got something to build on as they get ready for the second half.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle.
And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll keep it on the ground again here. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We start with two teams who are only about 90 miles apart as the crow flies. Motown versus rock and roll. Detroit heading east and over Lake Erie to take on Cleveland. And it's the Lions who hold on to the lead in that one. The Lions trying to gut this one out as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. From there, let's head to Philly to see what's happening with the Eagles. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting New Orleans Saints. Clyde Edwards-Helaire with a touchdown run. Finally, we finish at MetLife Stadium to see what's going on with the Jets. And in that one, it's the visiting Dolphins who are out in front. Chase Claypool, a touchdown reception. In our game, it's Teddy Bridgewater with a standout first half. His guys have the lead on the road at Soldier Field as we get back to the Windy City and Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. So here are the Ravens to take over on offense. They're looking to bounce back following the loss to Miami a week. Ago, and they've got the lead right now as they come up with a 1st and 10. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they'll begin by running the option. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Here's Bridgewater. He shakes it off, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Bradley Chubb in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll punt it away for the second time. Fielded just inside the 20. And that one a 55-yard punt, 13 on the return. And the Bears take over. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half.
And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Getting the ball is Cook running left. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. They run it again with Cook. A little juke. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
And that's why Dalvin Cook is the Minnesota Vikings feature back. You put the ball in his hands, good things happen. 2nd in the NFL last year in rushing with 1,557 yards, and that's now back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons with 30 combined total touchdowns. What a player is Dalvin Cook.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Play action. It's Darnold. That is hauled in by Michael Thomas. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue. Not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a first down.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Darnold under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Shaquille Barrett in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
But no, it takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw is Darnold.
He's going to get this one down to Cook.
And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He hit his first. Now this from 43. And Suckup will put this one right through. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So 3 points, maybe not a grand prize at this stage, but it does get them back within one score.
It certainly does, because now they stay within shouting distance. So that means everyone on your sideline stays engaged in this game. They know they still have a shot.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now a give to Taylor. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The Ravens on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. They run once more with Taylor. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 49 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Bridgewater now. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. DeForest Buckner able to record his 5th sack of the season.
It seemed like he kept going through those progressions, and I thought he might dump that underneath, but he couldn't get rid of the football in time.
And I have to wonder if he was thinking while he was back there, I wish there were a lot less progressions on this play, just someone that I could dump the ball to and get it out of my hands.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. From the gun, it's Taylor. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football. Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. On the handoff, Taylor. He finds some open field here. There he goes left side. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Jonathan Taylor, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Ravens look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter.
But that makes this a two-score ball game. And, you know, the way this thing has been going, Charles, 2 scores kind of feels like 3 or 4 scores.
Yeah, that's a great observation. It's been a heck of a battle, hasn't it? And points have been at a premium throughout this game. So you have to wonder, is this going to be too much for them to overcome?
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the lead is up to 15 now.
Touchdown, Hoff-Richter to kick off.
Mostert now to return.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Chicago offense set to get started. They've been settling quite a bit. They've been able to move the football some, but they've just been settling. That's one of the reasons they're down on the scoreboard.
I love that word you picked, settling, because nowadays in this NFL, you're thinking touchdown almost every drive because everything's so high-powered. Yeah, you'll take the field goal, but you always feel like you're leaving points out there when you don't put it in the end zone.
They'll be trying to put it in the end. Launches deep. A jump ball, and this is caught. A big play that time through the air. 32 yards.
Now, you're at the point in the game right now where you got to start taking some chances, and that chance paid off.
And it's a good idea to be that aggressive because, truthfully, the defensive guys, they're just playing not to make a mistake. That often means you can make a big play against them.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now Darnold. Open receiver, that's Caden Smith, the tight end.
Good yardage on the completion there. And when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
A 1st down throw, Darnold. And that is incomplete. Now the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. He was looking for the Michigan Wolverine, Donovan Peoples-Jones. And now it's 2nd down. Back to throw, Darnold. That'll be complete to Cook. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10. Now it's Darnold. And this will be caught by Edwards. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Big hole up the middle and able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 1st down now, but that clock rolling.
Darnold to throw.
Dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Now Darnold. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, so they got the score. Do you go for 1 here and save the possible 2-point conversion for later?
I think you do, because if you go for 2 here and you don't get it, that's deflation.
Yeah.
Now you wonder why you're even going for it. Take the easy one now and come back and try and get it later.
And now an on a 9-point game. They'll still just need to go for one here. As this gets them back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays. And the end result is a Bears touchdown. So here we go. They'll need the recovery, obviously, then a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie. And this one recovered by the hands team for the Ravens. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And in the early going, the running game, as we see the numbers, it just wasn't on point. Well, now it's gotten more true to form.
And sometimes it takes a little while for an offensive line to get in sync, because early in the game, defenses throw different patterns at you, different formations, different sets, and you might not block them quite the way you want to. But as you start to get into a groove and you figure out what they're doing, now it all comes together, and that's what we're seeing right now.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They'll go option to the short side. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. Now the Bears will use their third and final timeout, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. They run with Taylor, shedding through the defense. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 119 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. They'll get to him just inside the 15-yard line. And even after that fancy footwork we saw, a good job defensively to recover. On third down, here's Taylor. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Ravens, it's a rare victory for them as they get that record back to 3-7. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for the Bears, it was a game they really needed as they drop back to 4-6. And they'll have a quick turnaround as they're back in action Thursday at noon Eastern